Hello, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. Welcome once again to our webinar as promised, and it is going to be very, very important and very fruitful. We have a guest, a special one today, Mr. Ahmad Omar, and he is a technical assistant at Cash Telex, but also a technology expert, and this is why we brought him to this platform. Because we need to understand something very technical and we need to understand this kind of technology. Mr. Ahmad, say salam to the viewers.
نعم السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. As earlier introduced by my brother Ashraf, my name is Ahmed Qasim Omar. I'm a Ugandan. I'm a network engineer, and I can't wait to really share and share experiences, knowledge, and everything. Inshallah, I'm happy to be hosted here.
Thank you very much. This is home and this is your page. Our viewers already know that the aim of such webinars is to try and make a contribution to the knowledge industry, especially when it comes to the Muslim community. You know, the principle in Sharia is that al-hukmu ala shay far'un an tasawwurihi. Like if you're to make a conclusion, to draw a conclusion upon something, you need to first understand what it is. So before we run into the Sharia context, the Sharia matters, we need to first of all understand what it is before we can make a judgment, before we can draw conclusions. And this is why you are here. So our viewers, we're going to be handling this topic together with my brother, but you also understand that we are here together with you. So feel free to ask any question that you may need to be answered, and also make the contribution, because Mr. Ahmad, you understand we're addressing quite a big number of people, and
Absolutely.
among you, the viewers, are people who are even more knowledgeable. So let us make this 1 hour that we are here very fruitful. Make your contribution, ask your question, advise, correct, and let us all interact in creating this webinar and make it very, very fruitful. So, Mr. Ahmed, today's topic, and we are talking about artificial intelligence, we're talking about blockchain, we're talking about cryptocurrencies, but and also bringing that Sharia clothing for all that. But before we go to that, we need to understand what is AI and what are we talking about when it comes to blockchain? What is this thing?
Yes, that's a very good question to start with. Now, Assalamu alaikum, our viewers. Hello to all our viewers around the world. Now, blockchain is a technology, an emerging technology that is driving the fourth industrial revolution. For those who have been following, the world and how it's been changing, you understand that we've come through, different stages of, revolutions. But now this is the fourth, industrial revolution. Now, blockchain is a technology that enables transactions, to truthful transactions, or transparent transactions, or decentralized transactions. To bring it down to a layman's point of view, I want you to imagine you have four computers in a room. Maybe your phone, your laptop, another computer, and then your smart TV. What blockchain does right now is that it enables those devices, the ones we've mentioned, to be able to share information amongst themselves without a third party involved. Okay, in other words, you now have the ability to have transactions happening between point A and point B without a central party or a central body like a government. Now, bringing it back to something like money, let's look at how the banks work. That you have the way it works right now is that you have a bank, and then you have third parties in between there, and then you also have the people at the end of these transactions. When I send, let's say, money to Brother Ashraf, wherever he is, through a bank, it means, yes, I'm going to send it through a bank, but in between there, the government has to look through the transaction. The tax bodies have to look through those transactions, and stuff like that. But now with blockchain, that is not the case anymore. Okay, that you have these devices, these computers, these networks of computers, decentralized, that can facilitate these transactions and that.
Okay, thank you very much. When I mean, how is it different from the usual internet and electronic transactions that we are fond of? Because it seems to be something new.
Oh yes, it's definitely new. And now let me just highlight something here. The internet, as we know it, it came into existence in the late 90s, right? And then it works because we're using the internet right now. It's a very beautiful thing. It's a very powerful tool. That right now you see protests here. I can talk to brother Ashraf, who is miles away, and stuff like that. However, the internet has vulnerabilities. Okay, three main vulnerabilities to be precise. Those vulnerabilities, CIA. C standing for confidentiality, I standing for integrity, and then the A standing for accessibility. Those three vulnerabilities mean that, first of all, everything on the internet is not going to be confidential. Okay? Take an example of the Facebook we're using right now to broadcast our stream right now. You know, the photos on your Facebook, the ones you've posted, those are not confidential. Okay? Even those you've hidden that you want to be only me. If you find someone who's very good at technology, they'll hack them, so they're not confidential. The second part of integrity is that nothing on the internet is actually, of integrity, right? That still using an example of Facebook, I can wake up tomorrow and post a picture of brother Ashraf and say, "Rest in peace, my brother. You're going to be missed," but in actual sense, you're not dead. Okay. And now for the next part of accessibility is that with the right tools, everything on the internet is accessible. Even like I told you, the photos that you think you've hidden away, you know. So it just takes an amount of time and dedication, to actually access anything I need to access on the internet. I don't mean personally me, but I mean malicious users of the internet. Now, how the blockchain works is that information is stored in blocks, just like you'd think of, say, a brick. Okay, and these blocks of information sit in a virtual chain. Okay, and what happens is let's assume we have 10 blocks of information sitting in one network, which is a blockchain. A blockchain is a network of computers that trust each other. Okay, now what happens with the blockchain is that everything on there is confidential, it's of integrity, and it's not accessible to parties not, accredited to access them. Okay, so if we had a blockchain of let's say 10 computers or 20 or whatever, and I, a malicious hacker, try to intrude, that network, these computers will consult each other. Do you know this user trying to access our information? Okay, and all these computers will then flag, no, we do not know this person, no, we do not know this person, and that's how these malicious hackers are kicked out. So blockchain is virtually 100% safe and unhackable. Okay, I'm not saying it can't be hacked, but it is almost not hackable because it uses cryptography and all these other algorithms of security that ensure that information is going to be safe. And the process of actually accessing this information, if you dedicated your time, would take you in excess of 3 years or more. So blockchain is a safe platform. It is a solution to the vulnerabilities of the internet. That's why the world is driving that way, with issues of finance, with issues of, information, data security, artificial intelligence. This is the future. Blockchain is the future.
Okay, and that is really brilliant because when you talk about safety and security, confidentiality, integrity. These are all matters that Sharia, the Islamic law, considers very, very importantly. I mean,
Absolutely.
because people's secrets, when you look at the generic when you have that generic approach to the Sharia or the Islamic law, you will realize that safety and integrity, confidentiality is something very important. This is why when you come about and tell everyone that you saw someone committing adultery somewhere, they will first of all ask you to present 4 witnesses. And if you fail, it doesn't matter if you have a video, because here we need to make sure that people do not really, we do not subject people's secrets to such to be accessibility. And when
Absolutely.
it comes to the secrets on the internet, when it comes to the Facebook accounts, when it comes to money and all these transactions, we really need a system which is built on that can be trusted. And I believe up to now, we do not have any Sharia concerns when it comes to blockchain, the way you are explaining it, unless we shall discover something later. But for now, I believe we're okay. If you don't mind, let us check in with our viewers to see what comments they might be having or any questions about that.
Sure, no problem.
They are saying salam alaikum, a number of them, so you could please reply their salam. Wa
Wa
alaikum
alaikum
salam.
salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
And they are very good people here inviting each other so they can watch. There is a concern here, Shukran. Shukran is saying omusomo gwetaaga mu Luganda engeri gye gulimu ebyensimbi. Shukran, kino kikulu nnyo ky'oyogedde era twakidisikasinze kunyo nga tutunaba kutandika session eno naye ne tugamba nti okunnyonnyola blockchain mu Luganda ate kiyinza okuconfusing okusinga egamba we need to consider okutandika okugamba nti
I can maybe come up with a couple of sentences so that we don't leave our brothers behind.
all
So,
right.
because anyway, just to answer Shukran, we are having this stream running in Nigeria and other international, countries. So we are trying to keep others engaged. But now, just in Luganda, blockchain technology mupya azze okugonjola ebizibu ebya internet byerina. Internet erina obunafu bwa mirundi esatu. Nti obumu bwa confidentiality, is that obwekusifu, brother Ashraf? You help me out with Luganda. I'm not really confidentiality. What is confidentiality?
Wow. It is so something to do with obadde okiteesa otya?
Obwekusifu
This is
bw'ekintu.
obwekusifu ne kiba nga si kyangu.
Yeah.
When you confide in someone, okuteresa omuntu ekyama kyo, that thing,
Yes.
oba omwesize nti tajja kusaasaanya na kulaalaasa byama byo. So
Yes.
that is confidentiality.
Okay, then tubeera ne issue eya integrity. Integrity ge mazima g'ekintu, right? Am I right? Yes, ge mazima g'ekintu nti ekintu eki.
Reliability.
Yes. Then accessibility, okuba nti ekintu ki ekintu okutuukibwako ki kyangu. So njagadde okuleetera bannaffe examples ezo bamanye obunafu obuli ku internet nga bwe tugikozesa. Nkoze example wetubadde mu gundi y'oluzungu ne ngamba nti ku Facebook eno gye tuliko yennyini nsobola okukeera ku makya ne nteekayo ka post akagamba nti brother Ashraf akoze eki, brother Ashraf afudde, right? Naye ng'aba tafudde, naye wabula nga nze nkitaddeyo. Abantu ne batandika okuwandiika bu RIP, bu rest in peace, naye nga tegaba mazima. Okay? Ne mpa example ey'okuba nti tulina ebifaananyi bye tuteeka ku Facebook naye ne tubilimitinga nti gwe wekka abiraba. Naye haaka, omuntu amanyi tekinologiya, omuntu amanyi okuhaakinga, ye waaba azze nga ayagala okuaccessinga ekintu kyonna, tomubuulira nti wakihidinga, abifuna butereevu. Okay, then n'ekyokubeera nti accessibility era kyembadde nnyonnyola nti ebintu ebiri ku internet kyangu nnyo okubituukako omuntu omutuufu waba akoze eki, abiguddeko, ate ng'ensi gy'ekoma etambula, abaana gye bakoma okusoma bagenda bayiga ebintu bino. So blockchain azze okugonjoola ebizibu ebyo ebiri ku internet. Okay, and since twogera ku nsimbi njagala mulabe example y'amabanka engeri gye tutambuzaamu ssente nti wempeereza oba brother Ashraf wampeereza ensimbi ssaawa zino nga ziyise mu banka makkati awo waliwo abantu bangi abatunula mu transaction eyo. Okay, nti government egitunuddemu, ab'emisolo bagitunuddemu, banka yennyini egitunuddemu n'ebintu ebirala bingi. Okay, kyova olaba oluusi owulira nti ssente baazikutte nti ate lwaki, right? Naye blockchain ku luno asobozesa ensimbi okutambula nga makkati awo tewali muntu regulatinze ki ntambula ya nsimbi zino, naye ate nga tewagenda kubeerawo bulyazaamaanya wakati awo. So in actual sense bw'okitunuulira blockchain azze okugyawo obukumpanya oba obulyazaamaanyi obwandibadde makkati awo. Okiraba nti weŋŋamba brother Ashraf nti nkuweereza emitwalo 10 service gye tukozesezza oba igenda tutema 10 oba ki, agenda funa emitwalo gye oba 9-8 because it was the pre-agreed what kyetwalagaanyeeko. Okiraba vice versa ekitali ku banka nti oyinza okutuuka sente zitambudde ate tukyusizza kukola. Okitegeera kugamba blockchain azze okugyawo obukumpanya mu transactions ate tekikoma ku ssente, kigenda mu maaso ne mu bintu eby'amataka, information y'abayizi nti wokwata byapa bya Buganda Land Board n'obituuzaako bibeera safe. So yes, inshallah.
All right, thank you very much. I believe that was quite a breakdown. You did great, Brother Ahmed.
Alhamdulillah.
Okay, there is another concern here that we might talk about. Assalamu alaikum. What is the relevance of technology to Sharia? I think this is something we can talk about. When we talk about Sharia, okay, from a Sharia perspective, if you can go first,
Sure.
Mr. Ahmed.
In my view, I'm not a muallim, so I'll just give my side. Maybe Brother Ashraf will come in on the Sharia side, but I was just giving an example of trust. That right now you have transactions, money transactions. I'm using the example of money because this is what we're talking about: cryptocurrencies, money, and stuff like that. So technology and blockchain in this scenario brings trust, and by trust I mean something that is emphasized a lot in the mosques when we go to pray our Jummah and what. Trust is something huge in our deen. So technology now, the blockchain, enables us to actually have truthful transactions, trustworthy transactions that I am going to deal with Brother Ashraf. Okay, and because of this technology, there's going to be 100% trust between us. Okay, it is going to be 100% transparent. Okay, that if I was, let me just pull it out now from the money perspective. Let me just take it to a school, an education institution, that if teachers were marking marks in a university, and those marks were stored on a blockchain, it means no one can come and falsify those documents, or no one can come and falsify those marks that is not accredited to do that. So it brings back that trust that with this technology you can create truthful transactions. You create honest business and stuff like that. So yeah, that would be my take on that.
Well, thank you very much from that perspective. And maybe to say something a little more about Sharia and science in general and technology. Our religion, yes, there is the idealism part of it and the realism part of Sharia. These are the key playing philosophies around that are influencing everything in the world. So Sharia is not only considering the Quran and Hadith or the revelation as the source of knowledge, but also it has the realist part of it where we are encouraged to, by the Quran, okay, from our Quran and from the prophetic narrations, that we need to use our minds, our brains. We need to manipulate the natural laws of physics to make this world a better place. we're supposed to build. So when it comes to anything that helps us as humans to live a better life, this is something Sharia supports. So our religion, unlike any other, we are not against technology. We are not against advancement or science. Okay, we do not change our religion because of technology, but we look at everything that, new that comes about through the lenses of Sharia. This is why we have this topic. We have Sharia, we have blockchain technology, because we need to understand, just to make sure as we progress in and advance, we are not straying. Okay, so this is the very important relationship I would love to make everyone really draw attention to. Sharia or Islam in general is not against innovation. Okay, the kind of innovation we can just provide solutions to make it a better innovation, but we cannot say we are against it. However, we cannot blindly go into it. We need to study it from the Sharia perspective, because we know we are here to live for uh, a given time. Anytime we can go, and we need to face our God. So it really doesn't make sense for you to give a lot of time to technology without considering your God, the one you're going to be facing for the I don't know how many years to come. So this is the relationship between Sharia and technology, Mr. Mulumba. So in our schools, in our universities, in our homes, let us encourage tech, let us encourage science, let us encourage thought. We are not to stand against any kind of development. However, we need to be vigilant when it comes to every matter, especially when it involves day-to-day life for our people, because you could be committing haram all the time, haram per second. So we need to be sure that blockchain is not going to trap our people into a per second haram, and that would be something very big. So that is the relationship between the two. I hope the Muslims don't get confused when it comes to innovation. Um, we are going to continue with our uh, uh, viewers' comments, but after talking about cryptocurrency, because it's like whenever we talk about blockchain, another topic comes about
Yeah.
cryptocurrencies. We need to know the difference. Remember, our webinar, for those who have just come in, we are talking about blockchain technology, cryptocurrency, and where Sharia stands. But first, we said we need to first of all understand what the technology is. We break down the terms. Now we need to understand what cryptocurrencies are and how are they related to blockchain before we can make any Sharia conclusions.
Khair. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Thank you, Brother Ashraf. Now, we just concluded explaining how blockchain works, so giving an idea, of how blockchain works. Now, cryptocurrencies are money. Cryptocurrency is money. These are facilitators of exchange. But this is, like I said, we're in the fourth industrial revolution. This is money that's, some people like to call it the money of the future. Okay, how they work are that these are not tangible notes, just like you'd have a coin or a note or something like that. Okay, this is money designed using high levels of cryptography and complicated algorithms that make it impossible to hack or publish more money. To give you a background of cryptocurrencies, in 2009 the world received its first cryptocurrency in Bitcoin. The way it worked was that a group of technologists released a white paper of a currency called the Bitcoin, and this currency was built on the fundamentals I've just explained: cryptography, and high level, algorithms. 21 million of these were created and then released to the public, to purchase. And for those people who looked too far ahead into the future, they bought, the bitcoins. At the time of release, the Bitcoin was trading at 0.003 US dollars, which was the equivalent of about 7 Uganda shillings. Not even 50, but 7.
We
Now,
don't even use that. I don't think, I'm sorry to interrupt, but
sure.
a Ugandan 7 cents, we don't really understand that.
Well, to bring it down is get 50 shillings, because that's the smallest we have, and divide it
Okay.
by 7. So
Mhm.
7 shillings, basically. So in 50 shillings, you get about what?
Whatever. We
Yeah,
can never see.
whatever you'd ever get. So when they released the Bitcoin, the public purchased them because these are public currencies. Now, between 2009 and 2018, early 2018, the Bitcoin experienced growth. Okay, and this growth, of course, was only, you know up to speculation, demand, supply, and all that. Okay, and between the time the Bitcoin grew from that initial price I've told you about, the 0.003 US dollars, okay, to 20,000 US dollars. Okay, now I just want us to think about this, that this is a currency that did not have a government running it, not a central body running it, but it grew in value. Why? Because the use of it is appealing to the people. That for the first time, you could transfer money to someone without a third party involved, as I started out explaining with blockchain, you know? And now, so when I talk about such technologies, I get excited and sometimes I lose my words. Subhanallah. So,
I
but
am.
anyway, so these currencies have been emerging. Right now, as I speak, we're in excess of 1,000 currencies that have emerged of this type. Okay, the
All right.
reason I brought the example of Bitcoin was because it's the pioneer. Okay, but now how cryptocurrencies work is up to who makes the project, because cryptocurrencies in tech are called projects. Okay, and Bitcoin was a project, Ethereum was a project, Stellar is a project. All those cryptocurrencies. Now, how each cryptocurrency works is unique to itself. Okay, because each has to have its own unique feature that attracts you, the user, to use it. Okay,
Well, if I may chip in for
sure.
a second, Brother Ahmed, which means, and I would love to make this clear as well from a Sharia perspective, that if we're to make a ruling on a given cryptocurrency, we need to first of all understand how it works, which
Absolutely.
means that we cannot have a fatwa that will be true 100% for every single cryptocurrency. So when you hear someone talk about cryptocurrencies, you need to ask them which kind of cryptocurrency they are talking about, and uh, why it is haram or halal. I just wanted to make that clear. We draw a line in our viewers' minds, especially for those who might not have a Sharia background. According to Mr. Ahmad's statement, if every cryptocurrency is a project and every project has a way it operates, a unique way, then we need not to rush into judging any cryptocurrency until we understand that particular currency, how it works, right?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Okay.
Now,
And that changes the game. Thank you very much.
yes,
Please, you may continue.
thank you. Now, as I was explaining, each cryptocurrency is unique to its own self. Okay, and as Brother Ashraf has emphasized, now the Bitcoin on its own is all up to speculation. If there is demand, the value will go up. If there is no demand, it will go down. So it's basically all up to trade. But as I say, there are emerging cryptocurrencies that are emerging with different models, different ways of operating, and different so all those should inform this person trying to get into cryptocurrencies before they enter that project, before they invest in this project, you know, which now makes me go to the next point of trying to understand, what cryptocurrency is. Okay, and I think that's what we are trying to do here. But it is important to understand that cryptocurrencies, this is money, whether you like it or not. These are facilitators of exchange, just like money. Okay.
we shall
However,
not we shall not agree with you on that. I mean, until you convince us.
yes, no,
You
but
don't.
what I'm trying to say is that this is something that exists now.
Yeah, it
Okay,
is. It is now a reality.
it is
It's
now a
not.
reality. It's no longer all up in the air. Okay, but which one you use, which one you're involved in, now that is where the deen comes in. That's where the Sharia comes in. Because
Yeah.
now for the Bitcoin, it is just like what is it called? The Ruganda word is Zara, gambling. Okay, that if
Mm.
you have to target for when it's slow, and then you wait for the growth, and then you pull out. Now that is, you're not certain of the growth. You're only hoping for the growth. Okay, but
Mm.
now you have cryptocurrencies like the cash telex. Okay, cash telex is the value is facilitated by trade. And all these other activities as we'll come to share with you.
Well, thank you very much. And before we proceed, Brother Ahmed, there is something very, very important. You talked about the role of supply and demand. Okay, and for those who have been following us, last week we talked about gharar, which is excessive uncertainty, and it comes about when the only key playing factor in the market is, uh, I mean, supply and demand. And a Muslim does not get involved in a business which is uh, very risky.
Absolutely.
Okay, we talked about that, and how do you know it is very risky? The Sharia scholars are like, it is either above 50 expecting to profit out of it or beyond. It cannot be 50-50, and it cannot be below 50 when you're investing. Chances of what? Getting money. So Muslims, Islam is here to protect your money. Okay, so you need to be very careful where you put your money, because there is a whole family, there is a whole pool of people around you counting on your best decisions when it comes to money, best financial decisions. So when you're investing, you need to understand which kind of cryptocurrency, and a cryptocurrency shall be haram in this aspect, not because the haram is intrinsic, but
Absolutely.
because there is a lot of risk, and which subjects, so it makes, I mean, almost gambling, and gambling is haram, like we said. That is maisir. Innama al-khamru wal maisir. Allah prohibited us from engaging in such businesses. There is something, a comment from our viewers. Why, I mean, since it is a transaction, why is it that in some countries it was barred? Uh, it is not a transaction, first of all, and you will come in as well. We are talking about a technology that facilitates a number of smart transactions, smart contracts, and whatever. And we're talking about cryptocurrency, which is coming up as, of course, there is still a debate whether it is commodity money or fiduciary money, but we might not go deeper into that. What matters is that people are using it as a store of value, and in Sharia, it is now considered to be mutaqawwam. Mutaqawwam in Sharia, we ask, is this thing valuable? Do people consider it valuable? Does it contradict with Sharia when it comes to this? So far, cryptos are halal, and any business is halal. You remember we said any business is halal, and the one who says it is haram is the one we ask for a dalil, for evidence. Now, we're talking about blockchain as a technology. We are talking about cryptocurrencies. So we're not talking about transactions yet and how they are conducted. However, the question is, I think, the concern from my sister Mona. Why is it not yet accepted in some countries, some jurisdictions?
Yes, thank you very much. Now, I want us to look at this from the perspective of the government. That you've had your legal tenders, the 50,000, the dollars, the pounds, or whatever, that you have been controlling, that you know how many notes are in circulation, you know how much money you're going to make, that scenario. And right now you have an emerging technology of money that you cannot control as a government. Okay? So cryptocurrencies, as I started out explaining, are decentralized. There is not a single party that can, control a cryptocurrency. It's not up to the government, it's not up to one individual, it's not up to what. This is computers trusting computers, on pre-programmed algorithms. Now, the reasons why some governments are against cryptocurrencies is because it is hard to tax them. Okay? Because as a government, these governments make money from taxation. We all know that. Okay, but with the cryptocurrency, because of its decentralized nature, they cannot tax it. Two is that in countries that are now affected with stuff like war or high levels of crime, then the governments are afraid that this is going to be a facilitator of such activities. Okay, but now innovative solutions have come up to sort of put names to the users of these cryptocurrencies. Now, like at Cashtelex, when you're signing up to use our services and our cryptocurrency, we do what's called a KYC. Okay, so that in case of any disagreement or something, we know that's the guy. This is the person who committed fraud or something. So you from the government's point of view, it's just because they cannot tax them, and also they are fearful of the possibilities that could come out of this, because we've seen now, like a report that came out of the US a couple of weeks ago. There was a lady who was selling cannabis, which is marijuana, using Bitcoin. Okay, and they didn't know up until she admitted she was doing it. So that's the fear of the government.
Yeah, and I think that is a positive side of the government to look at stuff, because it is the government's role to protect its people from whichever kind of threat. And the fact that the government still don't understand, we should assume anyway. I know, I doubt if they don't, but they do understand. But the fact that they did not understand the technology, they had to be very careful, and that is an Islamic. That is something that is really appreciated Islamically, to protect people.
Yes, and just if I can chip in just one statement, I want people to understand that you cannot regulate a cryptocurrency, but you can regulate aspects of a cryptocurrency. I'll repeat that. You cannot regulate a cryptocurrency, but you can regulate aspects of a cryptocurrency.
What does that mean exactly?
For example, now with the Bitcoin, the Bitcoin is working in different parts. Actually, I'll say the whole world. Okay, that cannot be regulated. However, you can regulate the traders of the Bitcoin. That if you're trading, if you're a trader that exchanges, excuse me, if you're a trader that exchanges Bitcoin for cash, this is how you work. You need a license, you need this, you need maybe to record people who come to collect money, stuff like that. So you can't regulate the movement of these currencies, but you can regulate how it operates in your country. And that, I think, is where our government, our Ugandan government, should come in, so that it creates a safe haven for the users of these cryptocurrencies. Okay, that if your cryptocurrency and you're going to operate in our country, we need to know the users of your cryptocurrency. Okay, of course they will not know what transactions happen, because that's the intention of our cryptocurrency, so that you have decentralized transactions. But if you're exchanging your money, you should know that this is an accredited source, or point. It has a license. It has what? So we really need the government on this. It's not the cryptocurrencies or cash telex is not against the government. We want the government to come out and create, some sort of regulation, so that people understand that, what, this is a new technology. It's helpful to us. It helps us, but we need to feel safe, and that's what we are pushing for.
Yeah, and I believe the endeavors shall be, inshallah, fruitful in the future, because it is tech. If it is something that we're going to need in the future, we need to, and it is the role of the regulators. I believe we have some regulators watching right now. you could please pick up a leaf from Mr. Ahmed's uh, comment. There is a concern as well from our viewers that we need to address from a Sharia perspective and from a tech perspective. Because as and from a Sharia perspective, if this happens, this is fraud. Because Brother Kabogoza Yasin is like, it happens that the money disappears. I don't know, from maybe the account. He said in transaction. How do you account for that as a company? Trust me, things have never happened, and people have lost their money. Actually, people are, in general, can money get lost?
Cryptocurrencies cannot get lost because how cryptocurrencies work is that you have point A, which is a wallet, and point B, which is another wallet. When I send money from my wallet to your wallet, it has to get there unless I have messed up the address, just like you'd mess up a phone number, or something like that. Now, so money cannot get lost between the transaction unless you're involved in a cryptocurrency that is not using blockchain. Because what blockchain does is that it ensures that that money is not going to get lost in transaction. Okay, so just like I started out saying, cryptocurrency is uses blockchain technology, and blockchain technology ensures trust between transactions or computers and on devices. So you cannot lose money unless one of the three: I have sent money to the wrong address; two, you have lost the key to your wallet; or three, you just have amnesia. So money cannot get lost in between.
So, from your own experience, and we need to be honest to our viewers because there are matters of Sharia involved here. If
Mhm.
this happens, it has to be haram, and that company needs to be held accountable. From your own experience, how does someone get to such an understanding?
How does Please repeat the question.
I mean, like, how can a person like Kabogoza Yassine, who is asking, develop such an understanding? Because to me, as uh, a Sharia person, and I do not claim to be all knowing, but this comes about as a result of either an experience or a rumor. So we need to trace how can this come about.
I think now that falls into identifying or understanding how to differentiate these projects. How is a legit project? What are the markers of a legit project, and what are the markers of a fake project? Because
Okay.
such a scenario would only happen in something that is not legit. Because if you're a cryptocurrency, it must use blockchain. Okay, which blockchain ensures that this would never happen. Now, some of the markers of a legit cryptocurrency project are: one, this cryptocurrency has an exchange built on blockchain. Okay, that is because an exchange is just like you'd see a forex bureau, but a forex bureau that now lives online. Okay, that this helps you to change from, first of all, Uganda shillings to the cryptocurrency you're using. Let me use an example of cash telex. That you can change from Uganda shillings to cash telex and vice versa. So just as you've come into the project, there is a way out for you. If there is a way in, there should be a way out. So this exchange that is built on blockchain should be in place already. Okay, and this you can vet this. Another marker of a legit cryptocurrency project is that there has to be a wallet. A wallet this time is a computer program that lives on your phone. Okay, sometimes these are developed by the project itself. Now, like Cashtelex, we have our mobile wallet. Bitcoin has its mobile wallet. Ethereum has their mobile wallet. Okay, so there has to be an operational wallet in place. Okay, because remember, if you have money in your exchange, the one I just talked about, you have to have the ability to withdraw from that exchange to your wallet, just like you withdraw from the bank to your phone or wallet in the pocket or something. Okay, and then
Yeah.
two, another. Yeah, sure, please come in.
Go ahead, please.
Okay. And then the third one would be just look at the team. Okay. Look at the team behind this project. Okay. Do your due diligence. Do not walk into a project blindly. Okay. That if Ahmad, I'm working at Cashtelex, what is my history? Okay. Because these are issues of money. And I'm sure there's something in Sharia about certainty, a level of certainty when it comes to money.
Yeah,
Who are you
definitely.
giving your money to? Who are these people? Where do they come from? Is the company existent? Because I can come up tomorrow on Kampala Road and say, hey guys, I am a cryptocurrency. I'm from the United States of America. This is the company. Do I have a digital footprint? Do I, so because in this day and age, it is easy to get these answers. Okay. But now if you walk into a project and they do not even have a white paper, because something called a white paper is a definition of the project, something that should put the project in relatively simple terms for you to digest. Okay, for you to understand the project, that this is how we work, this is how money moves from point A to point B, this is how we
Mm.
make money, this is how we, stuff like that. So yeah.
Yeah, thank you very much. I understand, Mr. Ahmad and all the viewers. This is a very, very hot topic, and there are a lot of questions here. I have questions. Our viewers have questions, and like I said, our webinar is not just receiving. We need to hear from our people. We need to be handling these issues as a team, because if we don't handle it as a collective, we shall not reach an agreement when it comes to whether tech or tech Sharia. And these people now tell us the real experience they are going through. So, Kabok Goza Yasin, you have your answer. We need to do due diligence. A Muslim, وَلَا تُلْقُوا بِأَيْدِيكُمْ إِلَى تَهْلُكَ. The Quran is very, very, very clear. You do not render yourself to destruction, and you cannot uh, invest into something you don't understand. Money is precious to a Muslim. Kyebabagamba nti abasiraamu omusiraamu ku ssente because there is another concern. I will forego my questions and attend to our viewers' questions. Mawanda Fahad, if blockchain can't be blocked, doesn't it increase crime rate? Because this is a Sharia concern. I don't know. He's not. I know Mawanda. He's not a Sharia person, but this is a Sharia point. If it can't be blocked, if it can't be regulated, like we said, can't we now assume there is a lot of crime rate? What can
That's a
you say
very
about?
good question. That's a very good question. Now, like I said, each project works uniquely to itself. Okay. Now, like I started out saying, the Bitcoin absolutely has like no KYC, know your customer model. Okay. So if you're involved in the Bitcoin, then it's up to you and Allah. Okay. Okay. But now for projects that are more transparent, like the Cashtelex, and we do our due diligence, yes, the blockchain can't be blocked. Okay. But still, there is some level of control to some degree. That I registered user Ashraf is involved in such a business, and so if there is growth on Ashraf's side that needs to be vetted, it is just easy. We come and check the account that these are the gains he made from Cashtelex, and all these extra millions have not come from us. So please, government, have your way with this person. So this comes back to what project are you involved in? I want us to really understand this.
Yep.
Each cryptocurrency project is unique to itself because it appeals to different, types of people. For people who need total anonymity, Bitcoin is your thing. Okay. For people who need something halal, there are projects that are halal. For example, the Cashtelex, straight from how does it create its value? That is defined. Okay. What is the process of registration? How do I understand Cashtelex? So all these are each project is unique to its own, to its own self. Inshallah.
Okay, thank you very much. So it goes back to which project you're getting involved in, and by project we mean which kind of cryptocurrency you are investing in. And as a Muslim, you should always look forward to getting involved in something which is really not so haram. Actually, not haram at all, if you can avoid haram. There is another question here, and I think this goes to me because I had a lesson here from Mulumba. Is Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa alaikum salam. What do you have to say about Bitcoin and Gharar? You talked about the subject of uncertainty in dealings. Well, according to the today's explanation, we've said if that is the form of volatility.
Mm.
I mean, it today it is something, and tomorrow it can be 100 or 1,000 times more or less. That is the real uncertainty that a Muslim
Can I
needs.
just come in here to give you some I want to give you an example of the Bitcoin. 3 weeks ago the Bitcoin was trading at 6,800. Okay, and then 1.5 weeks later the Bitcoin jumped to about 7,800. 2 days ago the Bitcoin went back to 7,000. Now today, as I woke up this morning, the Bitcoin was trading at about 8,000. So that volatility is there in the Bitcoin. So
Yeah, when we talk about gharar, we're talking about excessive uncertainty, and this is one of the key points when it comes to Islamic transactions, commercial transactions that can nullify any form of transaction. When it becomes like this, it becomes haram. However, we need to be careful. We're not decampaigning Bitcoin, and we need to be
absolutely.
careful to tell people that from a Sharia perspective, Bitcoin is not haram. But now the way engaging in it can be haram because of gharar, because of any other reason, but it has no intrinsic haram in it. And when we talk about that, it means that in Sharia, there are things that are haram themselves. For example, taking pork, taking alcohol. Alcohol itself there is no way we can assume that we can go about it. It did not become haram because of some reason. Itself is haram. So the haram is in the self. So the cryptocurrencies shall not be haram themselves, but conducting business with them, we need to be careful. We need to consult. We need to do due diligence. And this is where people need to be very, very careful. We are 52 minutes into our webinar. We have 8 minutes. We promise our viewers that if we do not conclude, and we definitely won't conclude our topic. We are going to do another webinar if Mr. Ahmad, of course, accepts our invitation next time to go about these topics and make them more clearer and guide our society. So we hope that you will be here, inshallah, next time when we ask of you to come.
Inshallah. I request that I just make people understand what Cashlex is, if that's okay with you, brother.
It's okay. And just a minute. I see there is one or two concerns we can address very fast. We have number Rwambona is the central bank doesn't have number. I've not understood your question. And Ashraf, do you know? Do you know that it's between interests cryptocurrency? Do you understand that question? You are the expert here.
Maybe if I think that's what she's asking about, because I think the reason she's asking is that because there have been a lot of projects coming up that come to you and say invest this kind of money and then you're going to receive this percentage of interest in such amount of time. Now, that I had actually forgotten to mention, but cryptocurrencies do not operate like that. Cryptocurrencies do not operate on basis of interest. Okay, how
Okay,
cryptocurrencies?
let me chip in for a minute because that is
Sure.
important. So, do you want to tell us that we cannot picture riba in cryptocurrencies?
Yes, absolutely. You cannot a legit cryptocurrency.
I will definitely have to first check in that, but I need your explanation, please.
Yes, because a legit cryptocurrency, as I was just explaining, does not operate on model of interest. A legit cryptocurrency operates on a model of capital gains or value growth. Okay. Now, how this growth is achieved, that is where the Sharia comes in. Okay. But for a legit cryptocurrency, if you ever hear that if you invest X amount of money, you're going to receive, this amount of interest or this percentage of interest, now that is not a cryptocurrency.
That
I
is
just want to
something
put
that
that out there.
some other
Yeah,
form of
that is
investment.
something else. Because what has been happening in Uganda, for example, like I said, anyone can come up and say they're a cryptocurrency. Okay, but what has been happening is that people have been coming up with their very nice companies and calling them cryptocurrency, whatever, and then they extort money from people saying we're a cryptocurrency, invest this, you're going to receive, buy this package, you're going to receive interest of this percentage. Now, when they take this money, they then invest it in a riba scheme, which is forex trading. Okay, and with these people's money, they trade forex. Okay, and that is why they are sure of the interest they are going to give to these people. Okay, so
Mm,
cryptocurrencies do not work like that. A cryptocurrency is me coming and saying, okay, this project is good. I will buy X amount of coins, because in cryptocurrency, money is called coins. I'll buy X amount of coins. Okay. Now, how it achieves growth, now that is another subject. But cryptocurrencies do not operate with uh, certain interest.
okay, thank you very much. Please, we have one or two concerns, then we can close. We have Mwanda Fahad, if cryptocurrency is money, as you said, who is the regulator? How does the government get tax from people? And I think governments are. Can you say something about this before I make my comment?
Yes, first of all, cryptocurrencies are not designed to be decentralized. In other words, they are designed to not be regulated by a single entity of government. And as I said, there's a remark I made, and I said you cannot regulate a cryptocurrency, but you can regulate aspects of a cryptocurrency. That if a
Mhm.
cryptocurrency, for example, has a store, like an exchange point, how is that regulated? But you can't regulate the transactions of that cryptocurrency. Yeah.
Okay, and maybe to we shall talk about this because we need to talk about the characterization of the cryptocurrency in Sharia. I will
Absolutely.
bring you back just to focus on the Sharia aspects. Today we are just understanding what blockchain is, crypto is, and then but we need to understand what is happening. Some people, some scholars were like it is some intellectual property. Others were like a digital asset. Others like we shall come to this. However, just as a quick response to my brother's question, Mawanda Fahad, we do not need money doesn't need to be regulated from a Sharia perspective. We don't need any regulator to consider something money. Okay, there are ways in Sharia to acknowledge money without any form of what regulation. One of those forms is the government coming out and uh, declaring that this is money and people can use it. Other ways, it is urf, which is custom. People can agree that this is something we want to use as money, and a few more ways to really agree that this is money. So we don't necessarily need a regulator, although it is very important to regulate because it is a matter of public interest that we have some regulations in place to be able to deal with this. And one last question. Um, Nabila Nachintu says the uncertainty in it is what I fear, and you should fear, my dear, because this is a way that takes you to haram. Okay, so we are here to help our viewers and help ourselves. Actually, helping other people is helping yourself understand where the haram comes about. Now Nabila knows that it is a project, and every cryptocurrency has its uniqueness. You need to do your due diligence. You do not need to go into any form of cryptocurrency that I mean that has a lot of gharar, uncertainty, excessive uncertainty, like we studied. These are people who are following our classes here, Mr. Ahmad. So that is
MashaAllah.
their language. they understand. And we are going to come back to this topic. It is definitely not over. We shall be announcing another session, but before we close, if Mr. Ahmad has something to say.
نعم. بسم الله
And
الرحمن الرحيم.
you're actually mentioning cash telex. I have had a chance to interact with you, and there is a reason at why I invited someone who is in the crypto business, so he can be asked and he can help us understand better as we bring in our experience in Sharia. So we need to understand what cash telex is generally, because I'm
نعم.
sure people are asking themselves what that is.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. Thank you, Brother Ashraf. This has been a wonderful webinar. But just to sort of explain what Cash Telex is a cryptocurrency, but a cryptocurrency built on the foundations of Islamic banking and finance. So basically, built, focusing really on the good side of the Sharia, not just the good side, but what the Sharia says about money and transactions like this. So this cryptocurrency was built on those foundations. That, yes, you have a cryptocurrency. We are using the same technology, blockchain, you know, decentralized currency, but this time it is operating in ways that are acceptable to the ummah. Okay, that you have a currency that first of all has value. Okay, it has a facilitator of value growth. Okay, and then it has what is all these markers of a legit crypto, that, as I mentioned earlier, that first of all you have an exchange built by Cashtelex, you have an entire ecosystem, which, like I said, facilitates the growth of this currency, and then more, which I think we'll discuss more, inshallah, when in the
Yeah,
next
definitely.
webinar. I accept the invitation gladly.
Thank you very much. Of course, we are going to have to bring you back here because this is we need to really make that link and connection between practice and what is happening actually, and the Sharia concepts to help our viewers. And someone is already asking something brilliant. And Brother Siraji is asking if we can pay zakah from cryptocurrencies from the profits, and this is something we shall talk about when it comes to digesting the Sharia aspects of crypto, because this is now a new concept. In Sharia, it is called a nazila, something that has just happened and it wasn't. It calls for qiyas. We need to make that comparison between and how we can actually pay zakat from this. This is very, very important of a discussion. And thank you very much. We thank our viewers, first of all, Brother Ahmed, that for being here today. And we hope that inshallah next time we shall do better. We still have a lot of things we have not understood about this whole new tech. And please go ahead and make your research in case you did not know about it. Come back with a lot more research. Let us all participate in the discussion. Brother Ahmad, thanks for coming. We're really grateful that you
Alhamdulillah.
accepted our invitation. And may Allah put this work that you've done today on your among the good deeds that inshallah will help you go to Jannah. We are so
Allahumma amin.
glad that you're here. Thank you very much, everyone, for watching. And we shall come back. We shall announce when the next episode shall be, inshallah. Thank you very much. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.